Hello everyone, welcome back to Upload Decoded. In the last video, we explored how Google built the surveillance economy. Today, we will focus on the concept that powers it all, behavioral surplus. Let's dive in. So let's start with the definition. Every time we use services like Google Search, YouTube, Google Maps, or Gmail, companies collect data to provide those services. For example, when you search for the best smartphones in 2026, Google needs your search query to return the relevant results. That's normal. However, the digital platforms often collect much more information than they actually need. This includes your search history, location, clicks, scrolling behavior, voice commands, and even how you interact with your device. Harvard professor Shoshana Zuboff calls this extra information behavioral surplus. In simple terms, behavioral surplus is behavioral data collected beyond what is necessary to provide a service. Instead of using it only to improve products, companies analyze this extra data to predict and sometimes even influence future behavior. That's why behavioral data has become a valuable commercial asset and the foundation of surveillance economy. So how is behavioral surplus created? It starts with our everyday digital activities. Every search, video watched, website visited, or location searched generates data. Some of this information is essential, such as your login credentials or such query, but companies also collect additional behavioral signals including browsing patterns, mouse movements, scrolling speed, shopping habits, GPS history, and YouTube watch time. This additional information becomes behavioral surplus. Artificial intelligence and machine learning analyze these behavioral patterns to identify trends and predict the future actions. The process can be summarized like this: user activity, which leads to the data collection, behavioral surplus, machine learning, prediction, and targeted advertising. So, why this data so valuable? There are three main reasons. First, prediction. Companies want to estimate what you will buy, what video you will watch, and which advertisements you will click. Second, personalization. Behavioral data helps to improve search results, product recommendations, and personalized content. Third, revenue. More accurate predictions make advertising much more effective. The better a company understands user behavior, the more valuable its advertising platform becomes. In short, behavioral surplus improves prediction models and better predictions generate higher profits. So let's look at Google's ecosystem. Each Google service collects different behavioral signals. Google Search records search terms. Gmail contributes personalization through email related information. Google Maps collects the location history. YouTube analyzes watch time, likes, and viewing behavior. Android records app usage and device activity. Individually, each service reveals only one part of the story, but together they allow Google to build a comprehensive behavioral profile that improves the advertising and personalized recommendations across its entire ecosystem. This connected system is one of Google's biggest competitive advantages. So, behavioral surplus has also raised important ethical concerns. Critics argue that collecting large amounts of behavioral data threatens privacy and often happens without meaningful informed consent. Others worry about extensive user profiling, algorithmic manipulation, and the growing power of large technology companies. In response, governments have introduced stronger privacy laws, including the European Union's GDPR and California's CCPA, giving users greater transparency and control over their personal information. But there are no laws currently in act in Pakistan and Indonesia or any other country, that the countries that are called the third world countries. So the debate today isn't about just about the technology. It's about privacy, ethics, and who should control our digital lives. So let's summarize what we have learned today. So, behavioral surplus is extra behavioral data collected beyond what's needed to provide a service. Companies use this data to train AI systems that predict future behavior. Those predictions power personalized recommendations, targeted advertising, and much of today's digital economy. As Shoshana Zuboff argues, behavioral surplus is one of the key foundations of surveillance capitalism. It can be summarized in one simple formula: human experience that leads to data that paves the way for the prediction and it produces the profit. So, understanding this concept helps us better understand how many of today's digital platforms really work. So, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more evidence based content on technology, AI, and digital society. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.